We begin tonight with a deadly storm striking from Michigan to the northeast. At least 8 tornadoes have been confirmed, with a massive tornado about to hit Michigan, sending shockwaves of fear across the globe. Just moments ago, a tornado watch was issued, and the situation is rapidly escalating. This development is alarming considering the potential destruction such storms can cause, but what makes this tornado so dangerous and why is everyone so concerned? Join us as we uncover the latest updates, expert predictions, and crucial safety tips in the face of this imminent natural disaster. Southwest Michigan is now on high alert as a powerful tornado watch has been issued. The affected counties include Allegan, Barry, Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren, with the storm already wreaking havoc in Iowa and Illinois and heading straight for Michigan, putting thousands at risk. But what exactly does a tornado watch mean? Essentially, it indicates that weather conditions are favorable for the formation of tornadoes. It's a critical warning signaling residents to be prepared to take action if a tornado is spotted. The storm system moving towards Michigan is particularly dangerous due to its rapid development and the severe weather patterns it has already produced in Iowa and Illinois. We've seen heavy rainfall, strong winds, and multiple tornado warnings, all of which are now expected to impact Michigan. This kind of weather system can create tornadoes with little warning, making it imperative for everyone in the watch area to stay informed and ready to act. Authorities are emphasizing the importance of being prepared. If you're in the affected counties, make sure your emergency kits are stocked, your family has a safety plan, and you know the safest place to take shelter in your home. Remember, basements and interior rooms on the lowest floor are usually the safest spots during a tornado. Why is this storm causing such concern? The speed and intensity with which it's moving have meteorologists on edge. There's potential for significant damage, and the National Weather Service has not ruled out the possibility of multiple tornadoes forming as the storm progresses. Residents are advised to keep an eye on local news and weather updates. With the tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m., the situation could change rapidly, and staying informed could be the difference between safety and disaster. Have you ever wondered what it's like to experience a tornado up close? The roaring winds, the darkened skies, the sudden downpour, it's a terrifying experience that no one wishes to go through. Yet understanding these signs can be crucial for your safety. As we move forward, we'll explore more about how to recognize these danger signs and what to do if a tornado is imminent. Our best weather models predict that a supercell storm will move into southwest lower Michigan near midnight. The National Weather Service warns of gusts between 70 and 90 miles per hour, with the potential for significant straight-line winds and embedded tornadoes. The latest weather models indicate that a powerful supercell storm is on track to hit southwest lower Michigan around midnight. This supercell, characterized by its rotating updraft, has the potential to produce severe weather, including tornadoes. But what makes supercells so dangerous? Supercells are the most severe type of thunderstorm. They can last for hours and often produce the most violent tornadoes. The rotating updraft, known as a mesocyclone, is what sets them apart from other types of storms. This rotation can lead to the formation of tornadoes, and that's precisely what has meteorologists concerned tonight. As the storm approaches, the National Weather Service has issued warnings for gusts between 70 and 90 miles per hour. These winds are strong enough to cause significant straight-line wind damage. What exactly does this mean? Straight-line winds can knock down trees, power lines, and even cause structural damage to buildings. When these winds are combined with the potential for tornadoes, the risk to life and property increases dramatically. Imagine the sheer force of 90 miles per hour winds. It's like being in the middle of a hurricane. This is why it's so crucial for residents in the path of the storm to stay indoors and away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, it's best to find more substantial shelter, as these structures can be especially vulnerable to high winds. The storm's trajectory and intensity are being closely monitored. The weather models show the storm moving rapidly from Iowa and Illinois into Michigan. These models are based on a variety of data, including satellite imagery, radar, and atmospheric conditions. By analyzing this data, meteorologists can predict the storm's path and potential impact with a high degree of accuracy. But how reliable are these predictions? Weather forecasting has come a long way, and modern technology allows for more precise and timely warnings. The nature of supercell storms means that changes can happen quickly, which is why it's necessary to stay tuned to local weather updates throughout the night. What should you do if you're in the storm's path? First and foremost, have a plan. Know where your nearest shelter is and make sure your family is aware of it too. Keep an emergency kit with essentials like water, food, medications, and a flashlight. Charge your devices so you can stay informed if the power goes out. Are you wondering what more precautions you may take to keep your loved ones and yourself safe? We'll go into specific safety advice and emergency preparedness techniques in the following section. Understanding them could prevent a tornado from causing harm. Don't overlook these important aspects. As the storm approaches, real-time updates are pouring in from various sources. Tornado warnings have already been issued in northern Illinois. Michigan residents, especially those in Benton Harbor, Niles, Three Rivers, Kalamazoo, and surrounding areas, should prepare for the worst between 1 p.m. and midnight. The situation is rapidly evolving as the storm moves closer to Michigan. Live updates from local news stations are providing continuous coverage, keeping residents informed of the latest developments. Social media is also buzzing with posts from residents sharing their experiences and preparations. These real-time updates are crucial for staying aware of the storm's path and intensity. In northern Illinois, tornado warnings have already been issued, and the severe weather is now making its way towards Michigan. If you're in Benton Harbor, Niles, Three Rivers, Kalamazoo, or any of the surrounding areas, it's time to prepare for the worst. The storm is expected to hit between 10 p.m. and midnight, bringing with it the potential for dangerous tornadoes and destructive winds. Imagine being in the path of this powerful storm, the winds howling, the sky darkening, and the rain pounding down. It's a scene that's both frightening and awe-inspiring. As the storm approaches, the priority is to stay safe and informed. What steps should you take right now? First, secure any outdoor objects that could become projectiles in high winds. Bring in patio furniture, garbage cans, and anything else that could cause damage if thrown around by the storm. Inside your home, make sure you have a designated safe area, ideally a basement or an interior room without windows. The local news stations are advising residents to keep their emergency kits handy. This should include essentials like water, non-perishable food, medications, and a battery-powered radio if the power goes out. These items can be a lifeline. Make sure your cell phone is fully charged so you can stay connected and receive updates. Social media can be both a blessing and a curse during severe weather. On one hand, it's a great way to share information and stay in touch with loved ones. On the other, it can also spread misinformation. Be sure to verify any news you see on social media through reliable sources such as official weather services. Curious about how others are preparing, many residents are posting their storm preparations on social media. From boarding up windows to stockpiling supplies, seeing how your neighbors are getting ready can give you ideas and help ensure you're not overlooking anything. As the clock ticks closer to the storm's expected arrival, tension is building. Will the storm maintain its intensity? Will tornadoes actually touch down in Michigan? These questions are on everyone's mind, and the answers will unfold in real time. If the storm hits your area, here are some crucial safety tips. Move to the basement or an interior room of your house, avoid staying in campers during the storm, have an emergency kit ready, and stay tuned to local news for continuous updates. Many communities have designated storm shelters or other safe buildings that you can use. Additionally, pack a flashlight with extra batteries, blankets, and a whistle to signal for help if needed. What should you do with pets during the storm? Make sure they are inside and bring them into your shelter area with you. Keep a leash or pet carrier handy in case you need to evacuate quickly. Staying informed is critical. Keep a close eye on local news and weather updates, and use a NOAA weather radio if you have one. These radios can provide continuous updates and alerts directly from the National Weather Service. If you have a smartphone, enable emergency alerts and check reliable weather apps frequently. But what if the power goes out? It's a common occurrence during severe weather. Keep your mobile devices charged and consider having a portable power bank. Knowing how to manually open your garage door can also be useful if you need to leave quickly and the power is out. During the storm, listen for tornado sirens or alerts on your phone. If a tornado warning is issued, take cover immediately. There may be little time to act, so being prepared and knowing what to do can save lives. After the storm, be cautious when going outside. There may be down power lines, broken glass, and other hazards. Avoid walking or driving through floodwaters, which can be deceptively dangerous. Check for injuries and administer first aid if necessary, and call for medical assistance for serious injuries. Curious about the most common mistakes people make during tornadoes? One major mistake is not taking warnings seriously. Tornadoes can form quickly, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Another mistake is trying to outrun a tornado in a vehicle, which can be extremely dangerous. Always seek shelter immediately instead. It's critical that we continue to keep an eye on the storm and be cautious and organized. We'll go into further detail about the historical background of tornadoes in this area in the following section. What can historical occurrences inform us about the present circumstances, and how frequently do they occur? To understand the potential impact of this storm, let's look back at some historical tornadoes that have caused significant destruction. From the infamous tri-state tornado of 1925 to more recent devastating tornadoes, these events emphasize the destructive power of such storms. How does this impending tornado compare, and what lessons can we learn? Throughout history, tornadoes have left indelible marks on communities, causing widespread devastation and loss of life. One of the most infamous tornadoes in U.S. history is the tri-state tornado of 1925. This deadly storm carved a path of destruction across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, killing nearly 700 people and injuring thousands more. It remains the deadliest tornado in American history. Imagine the chaos and terror as this massive storm tore through towns, obliterating everything in its path. Homes were flattened, schools were demolished, and entire communities were left in ruins. The sheer scale of the destruction was unprecedented, and it serves as a sobering reminder of the power of nature. Fast forward to more recent times, and we have the Joplin tornado of 2011. This EF5 tornado struck Joplin, Missouri, with winds exceeding 200 miles per hour. The storm caused catastrophic damage, destroying nearly one-third of the city and resulting in 158 deaths. The images of Joplin's devastation are haunting: neighborhoods reduced to rubble, vehicles tossed like toys, and a once thriving city left to rebuild from the ground up. What makes these historical events so significant? They emphasize the potential for extreme destruction that tornadoes can bring. But how does the current storm compare to these past disasters? The storm heading towards Michigan is predicted to bring winds between 70 and 90 miles per hour, which, while not as extreme as some historical tornadoes, still poses a significant threat to life and property. Another noteworthy tornado is the Moore tornado of 2013 in Oklahoma. This EF5 tornado caused severe damage. The storm resulted in 24 fatalities. The storm's path included residential areas, schools, and medical centers, showcasing the indiscriminate nature of tornado destruction. The Moore tornado is a stark example of how quickly a normal day can turn into a nightmare. By comparing the current storm to these historical events, we can gain a better understanding of the potential risks. While each tornado is unique, the lessons learned from past storms can inform our preparations and responses. One key lesson is the importance of timely warnings and taking them seriously. In all these historical events, the difference between life and death often came down to how quickly people sought shelter. Curious about how these historical tornadoes impacted emergency response strategies? The devastating effects of these storms have led to significant improvements in forecasting, warning systems, and community preparedness. Advances in technology now allow meteorologists to predict and track storms with greater accuracy, providing valuable time for people to take protective measures. It is critical that we keep in mind the lessons learned from these earlier incidents as we continue to monitor the approaching storm. Being aware of the strength and unpredictable nature of tornadoes can make us more alert and equipped. The significance of exercising extreme caution and being prepared for the unexpected is emphasized by the historical background. Communities across Michigan are in a state of high alert. Local authorities and emergency services are preparing for the worst, ready to respond to any crisis. We spoke to residents and officials to understand how they are bracing for this unprecedented event. Their stories reflect a mix of fear, determination, and hope. Across Michigan, communities are mobilizing in response to the impending tornado. The atmosphere is charged with tension as residents and local authorities prepare for what could be a devastating storm. From Benton Harbor to Kalamazoo, the sense of urgency is palpable. We spoke with several residents who are taking this threat very seriously. In Benton Harbor, Sarah, a mother of two, shared her concerns. "I've lived here my whole life, and we've had bad storms, but this one feels different. We've moved everything important to the basement and have our emergency kit ready. I just hope everyone stays safe." Emergency responders are on high alert as well. In Kalamazoo, Fire Chief Mark Anders described the steps his team is taking. "We have all our crews on standby and have coordinated with local shelters to ensure they're ready to accommodate people if needed. Our primary focus is on getting everyone to safety and being prepared to respond quickly to any emergencies." Local shelters have been set up across the affected areas, and community centers are opening their doors to provide refuge. These shelters are stocked with essentials like water, food, and medical supplies, ready to assist those who may need to evacuate their homes. The collaboration between local authorities and community volunteers is evidence of the resilience and solidarity of these communities. As people prepare, there's a mix of fear and determination. Many residents have shared their stories on social media, showing their preparations and offering words of encouragement to their neighbors. John, a resident of Three Rivers, posted a video of his family preparing their basement. "We're ready as we can be. Stay safe, everyone. We're all in this together." Curious about how local businesses are responding? Many are taking proactive steps to protect their property and employees. Businesses in downtown Kalamazoo are boarding up windows and securing outdoor items. Some are even offering their spaces as additional shelters, emphasizing the community spirit in these challenging times. Schools in the affected areas have cancelled classes and are providing guidance to families on how to stay safe. Dr. Emily Hayes, the superintendent of a school district in Cass County, emphasized the importance of preparation. "We want our students and their families to be as safe as possible. We've sent out information on emergency plans and are encouraging everyone to take the necessary precautions." How are local officials coordinating these efforts? Emergency management teams are working around the clock, monitoring the storm's progress and communicating with state and federal agencies. The goal is to ensure a swift and efficient response if the worst happens. Governor Whitmer has also addressed the state, urging everyone to take the storm seriously and follow the guidance of local authorities. The impact on communities is about the physical preparations but also the emotional toll. The fear of the unknown is a powerful force, but so is the determination to protect loved ones and property. The stories we've heard reflect a community coming together, united in the face of adversity. This tornado has captured global attention, with international news outlets covering the story and social media buzzing with reactions and support for those in the storm's path. People from all corners of the globe are watching, sending prayers and support as Michigan faces this terrifying ordeal. As the tornado barrels towards Michigan, the world is watching. International news outlets have picked up the story, providing continuous coverage and updates on the storm's progression. It's the fourth straight day of severe weather, bringing destructive wind, flooding, and tornadoes. From BBC to Al Jazeera, the global media is emphasizing the potential impact of this severe weather event on Michigan communities. The sheer power of the storm and the danger it poses have resonated with audiences worldwide. News segments feature maps of the storm's path, interviews with meteorologists, and footage of the preparations being made on the ground. The urgency and gravity of the situation are clear, capturing the attention of millions. Social media is equally abuzz with activity. Hashtags like #MichiganTornado and #PrayForMichigan are trending, with thousands of posts every minute. People from around the world are sharing their thoughts, prayers, and support for those in the storm's path. It's a heartwarming display of global solidarity in the face of potential disaster. One tweet from a user in Australia reads, "Sending love and strength to everyone in Michigan. Stay safe and look out for each other. #Michigan tornado #pray for Michigan." Another from a user in Germany says, "Watching the news about the tornado in Michigan. Hope everyone stays safe." The international community is also stepping up to offer assistance. Various humanitarian organizations are preparing to provide aid if the situation escalates. These organizations have experience in dealing with natural disasters and are ready to mobilize resources quickly. Their readiness to assist highlights the global interconnectedness and the shared concern for human well-being. Curious about how other countries are preparing to help? In Canada, neighboring Michigan, the government has already put emergency response teams on standby. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has expressed his concern and willingness to offer support. "Our thoughts are with the people of Michigan as they face this severe weather. Canada stands ready to assist in any way we can," he stated. The outpouring of support isn't just from government officials and organized institutions. Individuals are also finding ways to help. Fundraising campaigns have been set up to assist those who may be affected by the storm. These campaigns are gaining traction on platforms like GoFundMe and JustGiving, with donations pouring in from around the globe. How do these global reactions impact those on the ground in Michigan? The knowledge that the world is watching and supporting them provides a sense of solidarity and hope. It's a reminder that, in times of crisis, the human spirit shines through, transcending borders and bringing people together. As we continue to monitor the storm, it's essential to stay updated with reliable sources. The global attention this tornado has garnered underscores the severity of the situation. The next few hours will be critical as the storm approaches, and every bit of information can make a difference. Once the storm passes, the focus will shift to recovery and rebuilding. The extent of the damage and the response from emergency services will be critical in the coming days. We will bring you continuous updates on the aftermath, including the efforts to rebuild and support affected communities. As the tornado moves past, the true extent of its impact will begin to emerge. Communities in southwest Michigan will face the daunting task of assessing the damage and starting the recovery process. The aftermath of a tornado can be devastating, with homes destroyed, infrastructure damaged, and lives disrupted. In the immediate aftermath, rescue operations will be the top priority. Emergency responders will be out in full force, searching for survivors and providing medical assistance to those injured. The first few hours are crucial as teams work to reach anyone trapped under debris and ensure that the most vulnerable are cared for. Visualizing the aftermath, we can expect to see scenes of destruction, toppled trees, shattered windows, and collapsed buildings. These images, while heartbreaking, also emphasize the resilience of the affected communities. Residents will come together, helping one another to navigate the chaos and begin the process of rebuilding their lives. Local authorities and emergency services will coordinate closely with state and federal agencies to provide the necessary support. Temporary shelters will be established for those who have lost their homes, offering a safe place to stay along with food, water, and medical care. These shelters will be a lifeline for many, providing much-needed stability in the wake of the storm. The rebuilding efforts will be extensive. Construction crews will work tirelessly to clear debris and repair damaged infrastructure. Power lines will need to be restored, roads cleared, and homes rebuilt. The community will rely heavily on volunteers and donations to support these efforts. Fundraising campaigns and charity drives will play a crucial role in providing the resources needed for recovery. Curious about how long the recovery process might take? It can vary significantly depending on the severity of the damage. In some cases, it can take months or even years to fully rebuild. The spirit of the community and the support from across the country will drive the recovery efforts forward. Local businesses will also need support to get back on their feet, as many may have suffered significant damage, making reopening a challenge. Community initiatives and support from larger organizations will be important in helping these businesses recover. Economic stability is a key component of the overall recovery process, ensuring that residents can return to work and regain a sense of normalcy. As we continue to monitor the situation, we will bring you updates on the progress of rescue and rebuilding efforts. It's important to stay informed and find ways to support those affected, whether through donations, volunteering, or simply spreading the word. Every bit of help counts.